just pop that through. Hi everyone, happy Friday and welcome to our interview with the artist live. We are trying some new technology out. If anyone knows me, technology is not my forte, so this has taken a little bit of time this week to get set up, and the team have worked really hard to help me get onto this at this point. So I'm just going to wait for Elizabeth, the artist, to join us. She should be here any minute now, and once she does, we will get going with this, and then afterwards I'm going to hope that it's been on all of the platforms as well that we thought that this might go on. It's very hard. You have to use an external thing, an external app to go live into lots of different places. So we're trying it out. We'll see what happens. And that is the beauty of this. Even if it's resin, if it is hobbies, if it's likes and things like that in your life, you just got to try it out, haven't you? Technology, new business ideas, try it out. It's the best way to get stuck in. And I think that's the one thing that's come out of all of these lives as well, is it's just, getting stuck in. Let me just getting a message through from Elizabeth saying she's struggling. Let me see if I can help her in. It's so funny because it is a new thing. We tried it yesterday and it worked and it let us both in. But it always does that, doesn't it, technology, when you're not actually doing it properly. Now when you're doing it properly, it suddenly goes, I don't want to do that anymore. Then you're stuck. So lots of comments, please. If you're watching this live on our Facebook group, lots of comments, what's the funniest or worst thing that you've ever had with technology that hasn't worked the way you wanted it to? Let us know in the comments. I can't actually see any of the comments at the moment, but I will have a little look afterwards and I'll have a giggle together, because I know I'm not the only one out there that has difficulties with technology. 100%. I think the whole world struggles with it at times. And I think technology is one of those things that is always changing, constantly changing. So you just get used to one and then it's there's another one. Right, so here she is. Yay! Love it. Can you hear me okay, Elizabeth? I can't hear you, but let me see if I'm doing something. No connection, 10 out of 10. Sound is okay. This will be, if you're watching live, go get a brew. We'll be on properly in a minute. Get a brew, make yourself comfortable. We will be with you shortly. But yeah, let us know in the comments what technology dramas, what technology funny stories have you had, because I think there's solace when we all share the struggles that we have together. So there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, I can see comments on here. How cool is this? Robert has put, modeling epoxy while it's curing is difficult. Oh my goodness, 100%. So if you're doing that and you're on a live, that would be extremely difficult. Oh my goodness. Anyone else out there? I'm so excited that you can see comments. This is very exciting. It's the little things in life, isn't it, everyone? 100%. I think whatever you do on a live, though, that's the beauty of going live, isn't it? It's real time. It's there. Whatever dramas are happening behind the scenes. Whatever's going on, your epoxy will know that you're live and it will behave a different way to it normally does when you have no video in front of you at all, nothing filming you. I swear, everything does. Technology does. The epoxy can hear you. It's oh, it's gone live, quick. Do something different to we normally do. It's funny. I think you just got to laugh at it, haven't you? You just got to laugh at it. And then, just improvise, adapt and overcome. And I think, do you know what? We all like watching live when it's not exactly going right, because there is that thing. It's oh, phew, it's not just us. Oh, not just us in the world. Luckily, you've got me, and I'm quite a chatty box. So when things are going wrong with the live, at least I think that's one thing that everyone can take from this, that everyone can do. Don't just kind of sit there and go, oh my God, no one's on, like, it's not working. It's just me. Just have a chat. Just have a chat while you're going live. That's what we're all here for, aren't we? We're here to connect. We're here to hear from different people. We're here to have a good chat. So yeah, I think Elizabeth's just struggling to get on again, but she'll be on any minute. I have faith, complete faith in this technology. We also have a backup plan called Zoom.
I think I did.
Yay! I can hear you. Amazing. Don't you worry, I have been chatterboxing away.
Okay.
Everybody come back from getting your drinks. Like, we're on now. Come back to us. Come back. I don't know if you can see your side, Elizabeth, as well, but I can see comments from this side. So I might go a bit off tangent and I might say something completely different halfway through. But we'll just play it by ear. Today is a great tester one. And I've just been telling everyone we've got new technology. So I don't even have a clue how to use it. Elizabeth doesn't have a clue how to use it. So we're both in blind today. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. This is actually an artist interview, not just me chatting. So you'll be pleased to know that if this is going to turn resin related now. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined today by the amazing Elizabeth. And I just want you to kind of say hi, Elizabeth, and say what your resin brand is, and also where in the world are you?
Hi. So I'm Art by Elizabeth, and I'm currently living in Cincinnati, Ohio. I know, and I've been working for resin for probably since like 2012 now, so I have a blast with it. I love using it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Do you know what? I love having a different accent on with me. Like, I know if you're from the UK, you hear an American accent, you're like, ah. And I know if you're from America, you hear a UK accent, and you're like, ah. So it's really
I love
cool. I love it. Technology joining us together from across the globe. So thank you so much for joining. So it's going to be morning where you are, isn't it? At the moment.
Yeah, it's like 11:07 a.m.
So I always have to catch myself when I'm messaging different people around the world as well, because I'm like, morning. No, it's nighttime.
I know, I have to always like apologize because I have a different sleep schedule because I work more at night, and I'm like texting people at 2 in the morning. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot people actually have like different schedules. So yeah, I feel that.
Anyone out there that gets annoyed with that, just turn your volume off at night. That's
Yeah.
that is it. Just turn your volume off. You don't have to have it popping up every time. I do. I don't hear anything at night. I get it in the morning. If I get it, I get it. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited. So how long then? So you started resin back in 2012. Is that right?
Yes.
Wow. And how did it all begin? Like how did you get into it?
It actually was on accident. I love using different mediums, so I was using this paint called PBO, and it chemically reacts with itself. And it came with this tiny little resin like kit bottle. I was like, what is this? So I just tried it and I was like, wow, it was like a game changer. I'm like, there's so much I can do with this and add. And so like from that little accident test bottle, it just like exploded for me. And I just went full force with it. I love it.
Oh my God, I love that. Every single person that I've spoken to, I probably repeat this every live as well. So if you've watched them all, I probably do repeat myself a lot. But every person that I've spoken to said it's been a complete accident how I've got into it. I wasn't meant to do it. It wasn't like something I planned to do or anything. Is anybody out there in the resin world planned to do resin before? Or did you?
Everyone I've talked to are like, yeah, I was just playing around and I just saw this and it happened. I'm like, yeah, me too.
I love that. But look what magic can be created from that. Like, I think that's the genius, isn't it? Because like you've fallen into it and you've just picked it up out of kind of nowhere. But like what you are now creating from that is amazing. Like I thank the universe that some people have found like their art medium and their creative side and the thing that they love to do, because I think once that's unleashed onto the world, like wow,
Yeah.
Wow,
I
I love
agree.
that. So thank you. So, do you have like a signature piece, something that you like to make? Like, what's your kind of resin angle, or have you got a mix of things?
I'm very inspired by nature and like skulls and animals and crystals. So like I feel like I gravitate towards like geode art and I have some examples I could like show real quick. I don't know.
Yes, please, please,
Okay.
please. I love
Okay.
it. I
Take
love
you
it.
guys through.
I am going to share your Instagram page in a minute as well, but I think there's nothing like real
So
life resin
I'm
in the
currently working on these skull series
wow.
and I like to add crystal work into
Wow.
it. Yeah. Try to
Anybody
make
who's watching this thinking that is pimp my skull, that is like a skull on a whole new level.
yeah, like I'll try to get
Wow. That is incredible. Look at, oh my goodness. I'm like blown away by those. Those are incredible.
yeah. And I don't know, I just love playing around and just trying different things and I'm inspired all the time by the most random things and I'm always just tossing stuff together. So I have a blast.
That's the thing, because I love the way there that you have combined geode, but with traditional resin as well, and the skulls. Like you've just literally, because I've seen them separately, but I
Hmm.
don't think I've actually seen them both put together. But oh my goodness, when that is both put together, like it's like I know the skull's 3D anyway, but it just makes it come alive even more, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It like
And like I noticed a lot when I've changed the way I've done my paintings now where when I'm done with a painting, I put a coat of resin on that because it just makes the colors pop and it's just a nice protective layer and I don't have to worry about it. So I've kind of introduced it into a lot of my other mediums that I use now. So
I
like
know
I
that's so
know.
cool, isn't it? I think once you get a medium and once you get something and once you've used it and you've practiced on one, you can spread that out and experiment on lots of other things then, can't you? And see
Yeah.
what works and what doesn't work with it and have fun. Like
Yeah.
that's
I've
the
had a
create
lot of fails, but I've had a lot of like fun successes. So I'm always just ready to stick resonance in like whatever I can because it's just cool to see how it reacts.
yeah, yeah. And like, you know, you build up your knowledge then over time, don't you? And your like what you can then offer people becomes
Hmm.
massive. And if someone comes to you and says, "Oh, I want a specific thing, I want it like this and that and the other," you can really say, you know, you will know then what works well, what doesn't. You can advise them, you can let them know, you can say, yes, this will work, but maybe try this and this and this, and you can
Yeah.
really work with them to get them what they really want as well. I think I loved your Monopoly table actually the other day. I was like,
Oh, thank you.
Monopoly was on my mind because my husband had brought back Monopoly cards. We're going to have to play it this weekend. It's a sign.
It's a
And then
must.
I checked out Elizabeth's feed and it had Monopoly tables on it. I was like, oh, Monopoly is everywhere at the moment. And they're fabulous. But again, like how creative and how amazing. And was that a piece that someone came to you and said, I would like this? What can you
Yeah.
do?
I had a customer come to me and she's like, I love Monopoly and I want a set of tables. I'm like, okay. So I like got my iPad out and I just started like drawing the images and just came out with it. And I showed her and she's like, I love it. So I just started to hand paint it and then I did the resin work and it was fun. Like I actually want to start making more game related
Yeah, yeah.
tables and stuff because of this custom.
Yeah. And that's amazing, isn't it? Just out of nowhere, out of one person's kind of idea that then grows another kind of but complete niche, really.
Yeah.
'Cause that is awesome. Let me show everyone if I can work the technology. Let me see if I can do this and not show
That's
you
the one thing I
everything.
can't seem to get is technology.
Technology is not easy, my friend. Here we go. Yay! I think
Oh,
we are winning today, everyone. So let me scroll down so you can just see and you can get an idea of some of the pieces that Elizabeth is creating because there is a lot on your feed and it's all amazing. But so these are the Monopoly tables, everyone. I mean, how cool is that? I love like the blue really pops as well, doesn't it? And it shows
yeah.
off the pattern on it incredibly.
I
And then
chose the metallic blue paint because I want it to like really pop.
Oh my goodness, like I absolutely love them. What an amazing idea. Like, so I love that. Here's the resin skull as well. I mean, you've just shown us that in person, but wow. I mean, I love actually that there's, you know, you can see all of the sparkle there in that video. And this one as well looks amazing.
Thank you.
I
I actually
genuinely,
used hot glue for that one. I was just playing around. I was like, I wonder what this would do, and then it just went off with it.
oh my goodness. I think this is another thing that comes out of these lives, everyone. Play around.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Get in there and get dirty, but
Yeah,
safe.
get in there, get dirty, play around, experiment. Like, look
Yeah.
what you can create when you do. I mean, there's just so many amazing things on your feed, and it's just incredible, all of it. I could be here all day. Um, anybody wants to see Elizabeth's work or anything like that afterwards, all of the information to go and check out her Instagram, check out, I think I've got is it your Etsy on there as well, possible, or your website?
Yeah, I have a link for you so you can click and it'll drop down
Yeah,
everything.
amazing. So all of that is with these videos. So go and check that out. I'm going to try and stop and share. Yes, I'm winning today. Winning. So that is just like a sum of the pieces that Elizabeth's created. So go and check it out in your own time, guys, because it's absolutely incredible. And again, like I think you can get a lot of inspiration from other resin artists as well. There might be
Yeah.
something that you see on Elizabeth's feed that you're like, oh my gosh, I'd love to try that. Like, try it, get stuck in. So how long ago then did you kind of taking resin art, creating art and everything like that, but turn it into a business? And
So I was lucky and I was already established before I started the resin, but I started by just started doing like small craft shows, and I had the Etsy in the beginning, and then when the resin actually, when I started resin is when I actually started doing like full blown art and music festivals. Um, and I loved it because they're sturdy. The resin is so sturdy, so like I didn't have to worry as much when I was traveling and packing everything up. But um, yeah, just art shows. Really, you got to get out there and talk to the people, word of mouth. And then I got involved in Cincinnati, Ohio has Art and Vine. It's this huge art community that we like travel to different areas in the city and do art shows like once a month. We even go to a brewery. So just for me, that's how I like really started, was just getting out there.
yeah, and I think we've maybe lost that as a society recently with everything that's happened, haven't
I
we? But
would,
now
yeah,
we can start dipping our toes back into that and get out more.
yeah,
Because I think over this period, what it has enabled people to do is grow really well on social media and get that side set up and get everything running there. So now when you go to things, you can still take pictures there, you can still upload it to social media, but now it's getting in person again, isn't it? And it's making
yeah.
those connections.
And that's a good point, like with everything going on. The lives, like Facebook Live, Instagram Live, the lives are huge too now. So I've started doing lives. I haven't this month, but I am going to start doing it like scheduled again. But yeah, lives are game changer, huge.
Yeah, yeah, because people get to know you, the person
Mhm.
behind the art. Like people buy from people. So people trust people. I would go to a resin artist who I trust and know would create something from my vision and we could work together. If I don't know who's behind the page, I
Mhm.
probably wouldn't ask you because I don't know you. There's not that
Yeah,
connection. But with lives, people can really see you. They know all about you. They know what you're into, what you're not, how you create, why you create, and some of the fun sides to it as well. And actually, as well, I think showcasing how you're creating it or the process of creating it as well, when people then do go to buy it price wise, I think sometimes they can be like, oh, how much? But
yeah,
actually, if they know what goes into it, if they know the blood, sweat, and tears and how much the resin is, and how difficult it is, people
yeah,
will, again, they'll respect why your prices are that, like, not that the prices are crazy, but they'll respect why you've set prices at a certain price as
yeah.
well.
And
Which,
that's a good point for a lot of artists, is like if you have a huge commission piece, like I like to take little clips of all the process, and like at the end like edit a video for the you know, so they can like watch their piece being made, like because for me like the best thing is to see your reaction when you get your custom piece, like that makes it all worth it. So I like to do a little extra so they can like kind of go on the journey of their piece.
That
So
is such a
yeah,
good idea. I've never even thought of doing that before, but again, what a lovely touch to add on, and again to show them the journey of how that's been created. Like they know the love that's gone into it, they know the care, the attention, the
yeah,
detail. Like, oh, that is so cool. Everyone needs to do that.
yeah.
It's those little touches, isn't it, again, that make people feel really special and
Mhm.
appreciated as a customer as well. And I think if you can do something like that, amazing. That's so cool. So what sort of, I know you said you just have ideas, but is there anything that kind of inspires your creations? And like, how has your personal style kind of changed over time, if it's had an evolution? Random.
Um, I've always like been inspired by like fantasy and just like space, galaxies, and then nature, of course. Um, I it's hard for me to, I guess, I know my styles have changed, but it's kind of I think hard for me to see it. But I think I've totally gravitated into like crystals more and nature more than I used to. And a lot of that I think is because of the resin work, because I can do so much more with it
Yeah.
than my other mediums.
Yeah, yeah. And do you think when working with crystals, because they have this power to them, don't they? Do you think that like kind of rubs off onto you as well while you're creating, or not?
I I would I mean I like to keep my studio as a very positive place, so I'm pretty sure they help. Like I have like a large collection and I know each crystal has different properties and they do different things. So like I'm always like, hey,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm down for everything. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. If
But
it's helping, it's helping. I mean, it's not hurting.
yeah.
Have them there. Yeah, I love that. And I do think it's probably anything that helps with energy will help with creative flow and
Yes.
that side of it as well. And again, if you can make your workspace that area where you want to go to it, you want to spend time in it, like it's just
Yes.
unlocks so much. I
Yeah.
know like not everybody out there can create in a certain environment, can have a workshop, can have a dedicated room, can have, I know at the start, like sometimes you can't have all of those things, but it is creating that little area wherever you can.
Little
Brings
utopia,
you,
just here.
yeah, that
Yeah.
brings you that joy and that happiness when you're doing it. Because yeah, I think if you want to go there, then that's a big draw and it'll just let everything out, everything
Yeah,
out.
and I'm pretty sure everyone's like me where if I'm in a bad mood, that shows in my work. So like, I mean, unless that's what the avenue I want that day, but like you gotta try to keep everything, the whole world, everything out and just like get into your little space and just
Yeah.
forget everything.
So maybe at like Halloween, so you have to make yourself get in a bad mood at Halloween because you need to
Yeah.
create these like dark characters and
Um,
these all this stuff.
Halloween
And it's like, make me angry, someone. I need Halloween's coming.
Halloween is like my favorite, one of my favorite holidays. So I like put all the Halloween music on and the movies on. Like I fully get into it. And I work with skulls anyway, so I'm kind of I'm
You're
already
there.
there. Already
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Halloween is a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, that green one's going to be amazing for
Oh, I'm
Halloween.
excited
Like,
about that.
oh,
Thank you.
how long's it? What step in the process is it?
They are done. I just need to mount them on their like little plaque they have, and then I'll start putting them on my website.
Wow, that's so cool. Is it always quite a nervous part of it when you're uploading it to your website, or is that kind of like, oh yeah, I've done it, here we go, off you go, bye? Or is it
I
like,
think
oh,
I think it depends on the certain piece. Like certain pieces have like I've spent a lot of time on and stressed out on. I think those are the ones that I'm like, ooh, but the other ones that everything like happened naturally, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm excited.
yeah, excited to see how other people perceive them and like you
Yeah.
kind of you're excited about it. Yeah,
'Cause
excited to
everyone
see
has
like,
such different taste and like something that I made, I'm like, oh, I don't know, like, but like everyone's like, I love it, and that always shocks me, like what people really will love, and like not so much because everyone is so different. That's what I love too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no one size fits all. That's what we always say
Yeah.
about your experiments as well. Like you might as well, because you never know. Even if you're
Mhm.
looking at it in the end, thinking, not so sure about that one. Like someone else is going, wow, that's the best thing I've ever seen. Like my friend came round here and she has never heard of epoxy resin at all, ever. She came into the office. She was like, so what is it? So I made these brain coasters, like
Oh,
on
those are
day
cool.
one of starting here. They are not finished. They are awful. They were supposed to be swirly. It was just me playing around, basically.
Yeah.
She comes in and she's like, oh my God, can I have them? I was like, what, my brain coasters?
I think they're really cool.
Are you joking? It's okay, it's a completely different perspective, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
someone else, and what you might think is like your worst piece, someone else might think is the best piece ever.
Yeah.
You
And
never
it's
know.
always interesting when that happens too. I'm like, huh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make more disasters. This
And
is
it's funny
easy.
because I was making this little tray and I accidentally did the ratios wrong, so it cured and it was like permanently just foldable and moldable. And everyone's like, "Oh, that's so cool." And I'm like, "It was a mistake."
Now you've got to make bendy trays.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how to recreate that. I don't know. I can't remember the ratio, so that's just one of a kind.
Yeah, I know. How do I purposely mess this up so
Yeah.
that I can recreate it? That's hilarious. Oh, bless you. So, what are you most excited about now then? Like, what does the future of your business or your creative journey kind of look like?
I am starting to venture more into furniture, like that wood slice table. I want to start adding more lights into my work. I bought a 3D like laser cutter, so I want to start doing more laser and woodwork with the resin on top. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to get all that going.
Oh my goodness, that is going to be amazing. I've seen the table and it is stunning. Like
Thank
it
you.
is incredible. And I do love the look of like wood and epoxy together and how it goes together.
Yeah,
Really shows off the wood in a really good way, doesn't it? All the grains and
brings
everything.
out the grains. Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
brings it to life, I feel, because like as soon as I just like start to spread that resin, it just like pops. And it's like I get excited just watching it
Yeah,
like
yeah.
come to life.
Yeah. Is that the hardest bit when you've done it and you're waiting for it to cure and you're like, come on, come on,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I just want to like finish. I just want to finish it. So resin has, it's definitely taught me patience. Like, don't touch it, let it be.
I know. I have no patience.
I
I am
know.
the worst.
I'm over there like poking it. Like, are you done yet? Like,
You done yet? Oh no, but there's a fingerprint in it.
yeah, I've done that many times.
It's so hard. You've got to walk out the room and shut the door.
I have like a drying rack. I put them on the rack and I forget them.
Yeah. I sometimes do a little bit in here, and I do it at the very end of the day once all the work's done, and I before I go home do a bit, and then I literally am at home, so I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
physically move it, try and demold it too soon. I can't do any of it. It's really good.
Yeah.
I have to have that barrier, so I'll be like, ooh. Patience is not my virtue.
Mine either.
Okay,
I'm working on
yeah.
it.
Oh no, yeah, I couldn't do resin full time because I'd ruin every piece because I'm doing
That's why I have to have like many projects going on at once. So I have like constantly
resin.
something to mess with and not be over there touching stuff I shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, actually. That is a super tip. Just create lots in different stages, and then you've always got something to
Yeah,
play with.
keep going.
So to end then, what's one piece of advice that you'd like to kind of impart on anyone starting with resin or starting their own resin business?
For me, I would have to say try not to compare yourself and where you are in your career to anyone else. Because honestly, everyone has such a different journey and path. And I feel like I did this in the beginning. Like I was like, oh, they're doing this and they have this. And it's just like, calm it down, Liz. you're not them. And if you work hard, it will happen. Just keep going.
Stay in your
Keep
lane.
going. Yeah.
Yeah, the blinkers on, stay in your lane.
Mhm. Yeah.
I like the quote, comparison is the thief of joy.
It is, because there's been a few times like when I was new in resin, I was like so proud of this piece. And then I went on social media and I was like, oh, well, they did it. And I'm like, stop. You were just so proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself. This is huge for you because
Yeah.
you're right here. Like they
Yeah.
have more time in it. So
Yeah. Yeah. And if you want to compare at all, scroll all the way back
to the
to
beginning.
their very first resin piece and
Exactly.
see how not perfect that one was either.
Yeah.
So it's the
It's just a
same.
whole learning experience. So
Yeah.
everyone starts somewheres and don't compare.
Use it as inspiration. Use it as, oh, maybe I could do that next time, or
Yeah,
maybe I could try to do that, or ask them, like, how did you do that? Because mine's gone complete. Like, just share that knowledge around and help each other. But yeah, comparison, like, there's no point. People are in
yeah,
different stages, and just know as well that the further along that you will get, there'll be someone comparing themselves to your work one day.
exactly. Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's a different timeline. It's a different journey. You're making different things as well. No two resin pieces ever look the same. You can't even compare your own
yeah.
resin pieces to try and
Yeah.
get the
Like
same look.
I,
You
I
can't.
mean, I've tried to recreate it the ocean themed because I do ocean themed tables and stuff. I can't even like really duplicate like they're all unique, all originals, like you. So it just you can't compare.
Exactly. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for joining us, Elizabeth. Really,
Thank
really
you for having
so
me.
lovely to have you here all that way, and so lovely for you to share kind of what's inspired you and all of your kind of tips as well as we've gone along. There's been some gold dust in this interview, everyone. So thank you so much for your time. So I'm
Thank
going
you.
to wrap up there, guys, and just have a wonderful Friday, everyone. Whatever channel you are listening on, I usually say it if you're in our community, but now we're on probably a lot of channels doing this. So we're on a couple of channels. So wherever you are watching, whatever you're doing, if you want to follow Elizabeth, all her details will be alongside the video. Go and check her out. Go and use Elizabeth for inspiration and put
Yeah.
lots of love on her feed as well. Lots of love hearts and lots of comments, and really encourage and support each other as well. So have a great weekend, everyone. Happy creating whatever you're going to be making, and goodbye from us. Thank you very much. Bye. Do you need to see how to end it? Technology. Bye.